in crime and that stuff. So, you know, there was never any grief either, you know, like there was for the cocaine. The marijuana was just part of life, you know. And I never had any consequences from it, never got in any trouble, never even had close to getting in any trouble from it. So my disease can tell me it'd be easy to smoke marijuana again. Yours might tell you it'd be okay to go have a beer. Or if you're a hard drinker, you know, if you're a beer drinker, might say, well, if I drink vodka, that's not the same. Or I'll try a different drug, or, you know, I'll do it only on weekends, or I won't put so much money into it. You know, we justify all kinds of stuff with these stories we tell ourselves, right? And for me, I consider it kind of like, you know, the thought will come at you out of nowhere. It's not going to come at you on a really good day. Because if you have a really good day, work goes well, and this goes well, and that goes well, and your girlfriend, boyfriend was great in the morning, and everything was just super duper, that's the day you're going to call your sponsor up, because you love to tell your sponsor super duper stories. Everybody loves to tell the super duper story, okay? And the same thing happens kind of on the worst of the days, you know, where everything's going wrong, and you're running late to share at 7 o'clock, and, you know, when things aren't going quite your way, you know, it's really easy to call your sponsor and go, man, I am flipping, you know, because that's a day the sponsor wants you to call, so you want to give him something so he can hang his hat on, yeah, I saved him that day, you know. So you'll call your sponsor on that day too. Well, it's going to be something out of nowhere. And for me, I consider it like going grocery shopping, you know. When I was married, I used to be given a list. And the list was so perfect, it went something like this. If I turned down aisle 1 and I saw the second item, I knew I had missed the first item because it was behind me. Literally the list was down the aisle, find the item. Item 1 was the first thing I was going to pass. Item 2 was the next, and I had to work the store in a certain way, and this was just going to fall right into the basket. Sizes were written down. No thinking, just take the stuff, go home, no grief, no nothing, you get credit for the grocery shop and all life is good, right? You know, you get the attaboy, you did the grocery shop, and thank God you can do something, you know. But I turned down the cereal aisle, and it says, cereal, your choice. Oh, Dennis gets to make a decision today. You know, this is the extent of my decisions, you know, cereal choices and stuff. So I walk up to the cereal aisle and I go, Count Chocula or Peanut Butter Captain Crunch or crack? Where did that thought come from? You know, I'm here grocery shopping and it hits me just like that, out of nowhere. And at that moment the cereal aisle goes blank. And my mind goes, well, the cell station sells the glass stems. The hardware store has the chore. If I don't buy the meat, I'll have 40 bucks. It's 10:30. She's not going to be home till 2. The guys are always behind the Dunkin' Donuts off of, I won't say the street. That's where they are. And no one will ever know. And I just planned my relapse, didn't I? Just like that. With no intentions of doing it, but it happens just like that. And if it was back in the day, I wouldn't have had the ability to turn that switch off. Because like that switch just got thrown. It just got thrown, right? So what enough of this program does is if you practice these things, and you need to practice them in here, guys and girls, you know, you need to practice them in here. This is the best, safest place in the world to practice those things. The praying, the reading, the calling your sponsor, and the going to a meeting. You know, it's time to give up calling your mom at night when the phones open up at 9 o'clock and going, I got 18 days, you know, as if they're supposed to congratulate you for doing what you should have been doing all along. You know, we expect parades and balloons and stuff like that for finally doing something right. You know, but also realize this, and I'm telling you the truth when I say this. All of your parents expect you to screw this up. Okay? They totally expect you to screw this up. They are still not sleeping at night. They are expecting you to walk in the door tomorrow night going, all right, I yelled at the counselor, she kicked me out. You know, or something equally stupid. And beg for your house back, and beg for your life back, and beg for some money to go back to your apartment, because you've lied to them so many times about how many times you were going to change, and how things were going to be different this time. You've done it so many times that they don't believe this is real either, okay? Why would they? Why should they? You know? You need to give them a chance to go sleep at night too. To close both eyes finally, you know, and realize, and you know, to be honest with you, the fact that you're here, at least they know you're not dead. You know, at least they know you're going to live. Because that's what they're expecting. You know that, right? I mean, they expect you guys to die. All right? So we're not doing them any favors, calling them up at 9 o'clock at night and going, all right, one more day, I ate the food, I stayed, all right, you know, big deal, okay? You know, it's time to stand up, man up, you know? And it's time to call your sponsor at 9 o'clock at night. And tell your sponsor what your day was like. Because he's going to save your butt. Because if the cereal aisle moment comes along, if you get on the phone and you call your mom up and you go, Mom, I'm standing in the cereal aisle and Count Chocula wants me to smoke some crack. You know, she's going to say, you're a loser, you've always been a loser, you're just like your father. Or she's going to say something like, come home, I'll make meatloaf. You know, she doesn't know what to say. She's not one of us. She has no clue what that thought is. You know? But if you pick up the phone and you call me, and you go, Dennis, Count Chocula is saying some nasty things, I'm going to tell you, well, don't look at Captain Crunch, he does heroin. You know? And whatever you do, you know, stay away from Lucky Charms, you know? Those are the magic mushroom people right there, you know? And the ones that are mocking me, you know, I'm talking about Rice Krispie guys, snap, crackle, and pop, crackle. Is that an insult to me or what? What is crackle? A little crack? What is a crackle? All right, so the cereal aisle is a dangerous place for us. But if you call me up on the phone and say Count Chocula is talking back to me, I'll say to you, okay, I know how to get you over to frozen foods. I do. All right? Because no one gets high over by ice cream. All right? Ice cream is a safe zone. All right? I can get you over to frozen foods. And your mom can't. Your mom has no clue that the ice cream zone is the safe zone. Okay? So, you also can't do this at work. You know, picture yourself right at noon. Boss, I'm walking out the door. I'm going straight to the spot and buying some dope. And unless you give me some work to do right now, here's my post office box. Just mail my last check there, because I'm out of here. You know, I mean, because you know that's how we are. We walk out of work with no intention of ever coming back. You know, but you can't tell your boss. They have to think you're out of your mind. You know, you have to call one of us on the phone and tell us that Count Chocula is talking to you. I go, I get it. Here's what I need you to do. Walk away from your grocery cart. Go buy a gallon of strawberry and a gallon of mint chocolate.